Welcome to another segment of What's Your Issue with me, Bernice, and
Anisha.
so today we have something delicious for you guys to fester on. So today we decided to go traditional, back to the motherland. We have some African food, some West African food, specifically jollof rice.
From Ghana. Is it
Yes.
Ghanaian? No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter, right?
No.
There are many African nations that have
Jollof rice,
rice.
yeah,
It's not.
But we tend to think us West Africans, jollof rice is the best.
Wow, this is not the day for the debate.
It is the day for the debate.
No, we're not gonna do. We're not gonna do jollof rice. But I mean, I've had Nigerian.
You have?
Wow, that was strong.
No, listen, when it comes to the battle of
She's
the jollof
Ghanaian,
rice,
okay? So that's.
you know what I mean? Us and our
I've
Nigerian
had
brothers
Nigerian
and sisters.
and I've had Ghanaian. I prefer Ghanaian, but that's just compared to the ones that I've had. Maybe there are other Nigerians who,
No, once you've had Ghanaian, that is all you need to have. I'm sorry, guys. I love my fellow brother and sister. You know what I mean? But
yeah, okay,
guys,
sure,
guys,
okay.
This is the best. But yeah, this is really good. I'm really enjoying it. The only thing that I don't really like is the meat because it's a bit tough. But other than that, it's really good.
Yeah, the meat does look tough. I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, whatever. It doesn't matter. It still tastes good. It smells good. It's flavorful. And I'm wearing the wrong lipstick for jollof rice.
Yeah, she decided to go all glossy rather than
Okay,
me, who
I
was
wasn't
ready
thinking.
to eat.
I wasn't thinking about the food, which is rare because I always think about food.
Yeah.
But this is I wasn't thinking that we're gonna get this type of food. This is like a matte lip, because once the grease touches it, so I have to preserve. I have to preserve the
She's been preserving the lips for some time now, guys.
Because I'm not trying to I have a look going on, and I'm gonna be working with it delicately, but I might lie.
Are you gonna eat stiffly
Okay, you know what? And I'll.
What are you doing? No, that's the impression of how you're gonna be eating with your glossy lips.
In all honesty, though, once I start to eat, lips be damn because I'm hungry. My
Lips
belly
be damn.
priority. So don't listen to me talk about glossy lips. My belly is priority. Trust me. I'm not. Food comes first. Okay.
Now, guys,
Okay.
she knows every segment we tape we're eating. Now, if you were really
No, we're not gonna talk about that here. Listen,
yeah, this is another
I still have to come with a look.
a glossy lip look. That means you can't eat.
I feel like, but see, this is the problem. We're always eating, and I'm in my head, I'm like, oh, I want to wear this lipstick. I can't wear nothing.
No,
on my
you
lips.
can't, but you have to be prepared for the eating. It's not about what you want to wear or how you think
You
your
know
lips
what?
need
Listen,
to look.
we need to keep track of which lipstick holds up because we could test them. You see?
Yeah, I know it's true.
No, this is important scientific experiment we're running. Whichever lipstick holds up on this heavy oil and whatnot is happening in these meal. That's
you guys
a good brand.
are getting the look that I'm giving her, right?
Okay, we're not. Y'all gonna agree with me. I'm making sense. Don't worry. You'll see. You'll see.
Whatever, Nisha.
Okay.
You know we're eating. Just
Anyway.
come prepared to stuff your face, you and your lips. Now, guys, let's go to the topic at hand. Now
Okay.
that we're done laughing at Nisha. So today's topic is cultural appropriation.
Ooh, child.
Are we for it?
Ooh,
Are we
the
not
vultures
for
are
it?
out.
What are the issues really? What are the issues surrounding this topic and individuals wanting to appropriate within certain culture? Most prevalently and most notably, people trying to get into
Capitalize
on the Black community, especially within the hip hop and urban culture. So, what's your take on cultural appropriation? Before I go on my rant.
I have a lot of opinions, but okay, so I'm just gonna read a general definition,
Okay.
and this is just a basic definition of what cultural appropriation can be. So it's really generally when cultural elements from a minority culture are copied by members of a dominant culture. and some of these elements are used outside of the original context, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes against the expressed wishes of members of the original culture. You can find this. I found the definition, that general definition, on Wikipedia. But there are many sources on the internet that really defines cultural appropriation. There are many videos on YouTube itself that really goes in depth and talk about, just general gripes around cultural appropriation. And now we've all seen elements of different culture in media. We've more prevalently, we've seen like people who've taken the native, like maybe the headdress or like designs, tribal designs, and they've like used it, say maybe on Halloween or something, just, to signify something that to them
that's meaningful.
Right, but in the way it's portrayed, it's not meaningful to the culture. It's demeaning, right? True. And it's used outside of the context. Like your cultural elements are not costumes. So in a lot of cases, when people appropriate a culture, they use elements of the culture in a way that's costumey, right? So maybe certain elements of culture are, maybe they only use it during like some ceremonies or something like that, right? Yeah. But when someone goes in or they see a picture of something that they like, and then they might say, oh, I like the way that thing looks, and they copy it, and they wear it in a way that becomes trendy or mainstream when that's not the intent. And so I think the issue continues to be is that, first of all, you're taking something from another culture without consent. Yes. And you're also using that thing in a manner that doesn't portray the culture in a positive way. Yes. And you're also profiting from that thing, right? Yes. And I think there are a lot of things that one might say aren't, it might not be direct appropriation, or it might not be negative because you're paying homage to that culture. Well, if you are copying a tribal design and profiting it from it, and you're keeping the profit for yourself, exactly. You're not paying homage to the culture. Exactly. Right? Exactly. You're stealing from the culture. So that's generally my general gist of it. Yes. This is how I feel about it.
And that for me, like, that's where my biggest issue is. Like, we all know, like, especially for me, like, one of the biggest things would be music. We see that a lot in music, cultural appropriation, just so that, that particular audience can, relate to you. And you want to be able to put yourself out there so that they will go buy your music or whatever. But however, like, once you've gained that notoriety and you've made that money, I've noticed that there isn't enough investment put back within to that community that you're appropriating, that you've gained from. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest issue for me. It's like, okay, you can't benefit off of a community. And then another issue of mine too that gets on my nerves realistically is the moment they realize that that community that they appropriated has landed in a negative situation that no longer serves them, serves a purpose for them, they all of a sudden like disappear and start distancing them. No, Nisha, like they start distancing themselves from that community rather than saying, you know what, like every community has its issues and its struggles, and we're not always going to see the best light of that community. But when these situations arise, how can I be of help while utilizing my popularity and, you know, my symbol in society?
Yep, rather than an ally.
Exactly. And that for me is the biggest like vice that I have. It's like, we all know if you're going into, like, for example, like the business market, if I wanted to go into the business field, I would have to appropriate into like that business culture, speak the lingo, speak, you know what I mean? Certain things like, you know, however, you're not, I don't know. I just find that it's like, you can't appropriate a culture and then forget about the struggles and run away because it no longer seems befitting for you.
For me specifically, it's not even so much of, and while I do agree with what you're saying in some aspect, because I do think there are a lot of artists, right? For example, rappers who are white say a lot of times some of them are really invested in the music, in hip hop, in the community, right? But then there are also rappers who try it on, right, to gain that popularity, and then they don't want to be bothered with the issues that a lot of black rappers face because of their lyrics and singing hip hop music. But my issue specifically is what I've been noticing, especially mainstream media is braided here, and suddenly like I'm Jamaican, so we call it cornrow. Okay. But people in North America, they call it cornrow.
Cornrow.
Okay, whatever. But anyway, But it's just like braiding your hair, right? Like a lot of women, black women specifically, when they wear their natural hair, they're looked down on. It's considered demeaning, and there are many black women cannot, not so much. That's not an issue in Canada. We've never had that issue in Canada, but I think
we have in terms of how we wear our hair, but it's just over here.
But no one has says like, but you can't be discriminated outwardly, like for a job or something. You can wear your natural hair to get employment. Yeah. But I know in terms of in the U.S., right? Yes. There's states where you can't wear your natural hair, or it has to be a certain way for it to be acceptable.
Yes,
definitely.
Right?
And so cornrows specifically, like, you know, that's a hairstyle that black women has always had. We wear it as protected style. We wear it, we do in our kids' hair. We put it in our hair when we want to. It's easy, it's quick, it's something that we can keep long, and it's generally something that we've always done.
Yeah, definitely.
And suddenly, over the few years, you can see that has become popular in mainstream, right? Where a lot of Caucasian women and women of other people of color have suddenly started to wear this thing. Now, anyone can correct me if I'm wrong when I've said that black women has always done this. Maybe you're of a culture that has always done this too. I don't know. So, you know, you can correct me if that is the case, but whatever. But now suddenly that has become popular, where non-black, black people and white people are wearing it, and now it's trendy.
Yes.
And the issue for me, it is not that they are wearing it, it's the simple fact that why is it okay now because a non-black person is doing it?
Yes,
and I think a lot of those people who put the braids in their hair who are not black, they just do it, and it's cute, and it does look cute, it does look nice on them. But they don't understand the significance of it to our culture and our heritage, right? Yeah. And so I think when you see something from another culture that you like and that you want to embrace, it's fine to do that. But I think there is a way to get in on that without offending people, and you kind of need to figure out what that is and what that looks like. You understand? Because I think a lot of people just jumped on it, and then you can't say to them, you know, oh, why are you wearing that? Why have that there? Suddenly they'll get defensive. Oh, why I can't wear it? It's not just for black people. It's not. But that's not the point, right? The point isn't. We're not saying it is just. We're just saying, do you understand the significance?
You have to know the history of the style, where it came from,
and
why people choose to wear their hair the way that they do. It's not just for style. Everything, especially in the urban black community, has its history, and its history is deeply rooted. You know, so knowing your history, paying the proper homage, it's very important. You can't appropriate and just for the sake of, I want to look cool because I want to be a rapper. No, you have to understand why certain things are the way that they
But
are.
I do think too, specifically to urban music, like hip hop and rap music. Like, and there are other obviously forms of music. I mean, music is universal, right? And we're not saying, like, I'm definitely not saying that, you know, only certain types of people should listen to or partake in certain type of music. Like, I'm Jamaican. Reggae is wildly popular across the world. There are many people who are not Jamaican who are reggae artists.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's no way I'm going to say, they shouldn't be or they don't make good reggae music. But I do think the thing is, you have to understand the struggles which that music came out of.
Exactly.
And you definitely cannot want to just stand in half of it. You know? You can't just want to benefit from it, from the profits. But when shit's popping off, people are saying these type of things about rappers, or you're like, well, they're not talking about me. So
let me throw my hands up. It's time to run.
So I'm gonna, they're not talking about me. So I'm gonna keep quiet. Or based on the color of your skin, you might get a pass. Yeah. Right. But when you realize that you're getting a pass, you need to stand up for what other people who won't get a pass are fighting for, because you're benefiting, and that is your responsibility.
Exactly.
You are responsible to that. Exactly. And I find like a lot of people, they don't. They benefit. Yeah, they benefit, period, Nisha. But then the moment the investments needs to be made, like, look at all those people, like, who are famous, who are culturally appropriating, who are not putting anything back into the culture. You know what I mean? We see it on the news every single day, like certain kids, especially in the States. You hear of kids, like the type of schools that they're attending. Like, the teachers have to even like take out their own money. They don't have enough resources. They don't have enough. And it's sad. So it's like, you're appropriating from these impoverished communities, yet you have no infrastructure or anything set in place
to help uplift them. And another thing too that kind of annoys me, we as a Black urban community need to just stop opening up our arms to anybody that wants to appropriate anything of ours without really having to sit down with them and be like, okay, listen, you want to benefit off of us, how are you going to help us? Or let me charge you this, you know. And no, but Nisha, we have to start utilizing our power and our popularity, you know what I mean, to bring about some newness within our community so that we can begin to uplift ourselves. We are too open. We allow people to come and take, steal. They don't give anything in return. They diss us. Then we, like, there's this, oh my God, I can't believe they did this. Yet the moment everything goes back to being normal, we, the Black urban community, we're like, come back. And there's so many artists who have done that.
This made me think of, sorry.
No worries, girl.
Miley Cyrus.
I was just about to bring her. And Jennifer Lopez.
Really?
Okay, remember Jennifer Lopez when Puff Daddy got that, Puffy and that Shine case? Remember they were in the club and there was a shooting. Remember when everything was going well between Puffy and J-Lo, right? She loved the name J-Lo. And then as soon as that situation arrived, she wanted to disassociate herself. She's like, oh, she only wants to be called Jennifer Lopez. She doesn't want to be called J-Lo. Girl, you need to look that up.
I don't remember that.
Yes, girl, you need to look that up. Miley Cyrus even went on the sword, one of those magazines, and said rap music was misogynistic, bitch. You knew that before you went in. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like these things are kind of like, it's very discouraging when you know it's like, okay, it was fine to enter.
When you need it to uplift your career and get you some hype that you need.
Exactly.
So you climb up on the backs of this music.
Exactly.
And then when you're out where you are, now when you're elevated, when you reach your status, it's too low now, right?
Exactly. There's many culprits. We just can't be bothered to list them all. But the point is that I feel like...
You know who you are?
Exactly. You do know who you are. But as a Black community, yes, we want to be welcoming to everybody that wants to like come into our circle, but we also have to start taking responsibility and saying, you know what, no, it's not everybody that wants to appropriate our culture or wants to come and sing our songs that we need to be welcoming like with open arms without really sitting down with them and saying, okay, look, you're gonna benefit from this. How are you going to help our people?
But how are you helping?
How?
Yeah.
And how are we going to hold them responsible, Nisha? Because we're not. And then we have cries about, oh my gosh, they're dissing us. But yet we keep allowing it time after time. Like J-Lo, perfect example. You couldn't get anybody to sing at the Grammys besides her. You have you have Gladys Knight. You have other urban artists, Ledisi. You have, you know what I mean? All these other up and coming urban artists, Nisha, that could have gotten a chance at that Motown tribute, who didn't. And this is a artist who dabbles in and out of our culture. Like another thing too, like not to go off of my J-Lo rant, but whatever. Ashanti, one of the songs she sang, Ashanti was actually the one that was doing the singing. Jennifer Lopez was just mouthing it off. You're just lip syncing.
What song is this?
It's the one with Ja Rule. How does it go? Are you ready? I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah. And I'm there thinking with my loser ass self when I saw that video, guys. Like,
what was this?
A long time ago, Nisha. I don't remember. Me with myself. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yo, my God, it's Jennifer Lopez. In that song. She's in that song, lip syncing, my dear. You can look it up. Or it's lip syncing. Are you sure? Yes, it's lip syncing.
Are you sure that's right?
Yes, girl. It's her lip singing to Ashanti. Another example. So we're allowing her to culturally appropriate, gain benefits, but yet Ashanti is not even mentioned as the one. So, I mean, like, we're taking things away from each other when we should be opening up the doors for young urban artists to get themselves out there. You know, how is that fair to her?
I don't think it's fair, but I do think you said something that's we have to be accountable.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is we can say, you know, this person is appropriating culture, but when you open it up and allow people to come in and trample and take what they want and not hold them accountable, they feel like they have a right to it just as much as you do. Yeah. And I think there's a lack of accountability. Us holding ourselves accountable and us holding other people accountable.
Definitely.
And holding them to a standard with which, if you're going to do this, that's great. Enjoy the music.
Yes.
Profit from it. But as you say, how are you then benefiting this community? What are you doing to further enhance and benefit this music?
Exactly.
And not all artists do that. There are artists
definitely.
who are very invested and they feel strongly about it, right? Mm-hmm. But there are people who do come in and out like it's a swinging a swinging door, and to their own benefit. And you can always tell the ones who are trying to get a come up, because as soon as their career hit like a lull, you know, everything's quiet, the crickets are coming out.
Yeah.
Suddenly everybody wants to be hip, everybody wants to be urban, everybody wants to act like they've been down for the cause, whatever. And then when there's a serious issue that concerns black people or people of color, you can't find them nowhere.
Exactly.
Because they get a pass, you see.
Exactly.
And they're not here trying to say, okay, no. Let's shed some light. This is my perspective. This is how I see it.
Exactly, Nisha. But this is where the accountability, like you just said, when these things are happening, we need to call out these people. Yo, you were part of the hipness and the happy ride. So why are you jumping off now that we're having issues? Yeah. We need to start calling these people out.
But I do think though.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, girl? Tell me.
I don't think. I mean, something's wrong with you.
Yes, I know. No, this issue just has me like, yo, talk to me, girl.
The wine is done. I think that's the issue.
The wine. I need more wine.
What is the issue? The wine is done. Anyway, but I forgot what the hell I was saying. Forget what I was saying. It don't matter. Point is this. A lot of people do use people's culture, especially the minority groups. And we see this a lot, where a lot of African culture gets appropriated. Yes. Where a lot of like native culture gets appropriated. Yes. If you see something in somebody's culture that you like, you know, try to figure out what it is for. Yeah. Before you jump on thinking you could just copy it and remix it a little bit. And I said, no. I've I'm paying homage. Bitch, you ain't paying no homage.
None whatsoever.
And we can see it. And it's clear that you're stealing. And then what aggravates my spirit is when you say you're stealing, no, you're not paying homage, then they get upset. Like,
says what aggravates my spirit.
Why are you getting upset? It's not your culture. If you're going to take something from me and I'm saying, no, you know, like, why are you getting upset? Just sit in your spot, shut the fuck up,
ignorance, though,
and just be like, okay, maybe I didn't understand. Yeah. You know, just say you didn't understand. Yeah. Or you probably did understand, but I'm just saying.
No, I hear you, but like, Misha, you
but
know
don't get upset, and don't say that. If someone complains that, you know what, that is cultural appropriation. Sure. Oh, everything is cultural appropriation. Everything is not cultural appropriation. There's specific things that are cultural appropriation, and you need to know what that is. Yeah. And if someone says that is cultural appropriation, then you need to listen to what they're saying. Yeah, it's true. Because chances are they probably know more than you, because that is not your culture.
It's true.
That is theirs.
It's true. And like the point that I was going back, like the business example that I used, that I think what I meant to say is you need to know the history of certain things, like, you know what I mean? So at the ending of the day, Nisha, it just goes back to people don't understand. They take on things, they see things, it's like, oh my God, that's so cool, let me just jump on the bandwagon. But there's a lot of history behind certain things that a lot of us are unaware of, like, you know, so it's, I don't know, it's
like, and I don't think this is just for like like just white people, because it isn't. Because there are black people too who do things that's outside of their culture, their heritage, and you're like,
you have to side eye them.
You're like, what are you doing? Like, do you even know what that is? You know, there are lots of them who think it's cute too. Yeah, it's true. Right, and they do it, and
that's true.
And we've all been guilty in some ways of doing certain types of things.
It's true.
But I do think that we have to acknowledge where we ourselves have fallen short, and we cannot just become defensive when someone says something that we don't like. Yeah. You know, if someone says, "Oh, you know, that is not what that is supposed to be used for." You know, you're using it inappropriately, or you're appropriating a culture. Don't suddenly get all defensive. Yeah. Just be like, okay, ask more questions like how, in what way? Oh, I thought it was this. Can you share your insights with me?
Yeah.
That way you can at least create a dialogue and
definitely.
gain a better understanding, as opposed to be flaring up in ignorant, think you know all type of shit, which you don't know anything, and then creating a bigger issue. Because if you're gonna come at me defensive, I'm not gonna want to talk to you about anything.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna let you go ahead, go with your ignorant ass. Somebody else will catch you.
Are you gonna give them the resting bitch face? Nisha and her resting.
I probably okay. I probably won't. But the point is this, like, you know, because our world is so diverse, right? And now cultures are mixing. You know, people from different places are getting babies, and you know what I mean. You can't anymore look at a person and be like, oh, that's not your culture. Because you cannot. That could very well be their heritage, and you don't know.
No, it's
so you don't want to go fly off in ignorance too, because you're going with your biases and your assumptions, right? You want to. But you want to ask, and you want to say, oh, I didn't know you were X and Y culture. And then if that person's like, no, blah, blah, whatever, then you can maybe have a conversation about them. Well, I don't think that's how it was meant to be used.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. But education is the key.
And I think too many people are ignorant. And too many people they're ignorant, and they don't want to be told that they're ignorant.
No,
you know, and you can't teach somebody who doesn't want to learn.
No, you can't.
Oh, Jesus. Guys,
she's showing us some boobs.
We're wow, my bra was showing. That's
zoom in, guys, zoom in.
What's wrong with you? You're awful. Get away from me.
No, we're getting some boob action.
No,
here.
that is.
It's not every day on this segment that you're gonna get a boob action or any form
Literally,
of action.
shut up. My bra was showing for like a good 30 minutes. I was blabbering, talking about shit.
For Nisha's male fans, guys.
Okay, you need to stop. That's just gross.
Wink.
We're not having it. Don't listen to her. You might catch a charge.
Guys.
Anyway,
fans.
so the thing is, what hell was I saying before this fool? Just be knowledgeable. Don't be ignorant.
It's true.
You know?
Yeah.
And if you are going to, like, I think New York, like Tiffany Pollock, I think, New York from Flavor Flav.
Okay.
She had said something one time. She's like, if you're going to stand in it, like, if you're going to stand, something about standing in it, stand in all shades of it or whatever, or something like that. She was talking about another girl who was.
Like an analogy type of thing?
Yeah, she was referencing something else. I forgot what references. But my point is this. Like, if you're going to want to take a part of the culture and use it to your profit, then you need to take in the history behind it. The good, the bad, the everything. And the responsibility of taking on that culture. You know? Because now you have taken ownership of something that is not yours, and you have to live with the consequences or bear the consequences. So anyways, that's my take on that.
I second that. Know your history. You know what I mean?
Ask questions. Don't
appropriate just to gain and then think that you're going to be ditching the culture. Be in it from the beginning to the end. Be passionate about it. Invest in the culture. Give back. You know what I mean? Because
back to the community. Yeah. A lot of these communities that they're taking these from, these are communities that do need a lot of support.
Definitely.
And and people who are always taking things are always in probably better positions to support.
Yeah.
You
definitely.
know? But anyways, just stop stealing.
So guys, that wraps up our topic
for today. Okay, yeah, it was lively, and you got some. Honest to God, like my freaking bra was like, guys, out.
Let's just zoom in.
Okay, could you stop being creepy?
No, I'm not being creepy.
You're
gonna have some fans, and they want to see some skin, like, you know, like, so you just have to gently sometimes, guys. Comment and let me know if I'm lying or not.
Let me tell you something. No, we're not going there. But thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. Continue with let's continue in the comments. You know, like
the conversation.
Let's continue the conversation in the comments. I want to know how you guys feel about this. Like, we're still learning. We're open to continuing this discussion. So
yes.
Anyways, take care.
Like, share, subscribe. Bye.